What is going on, guys? Dark Scheme here, and like I said, I am bringing you the part 2 to the history of my time with Halo as a whole. And when we last left off yesterday, which I uploaded that video Tuesday, today is Wednesday, we stopped on Halo 3, right before Halo 3. So what I had last said was that Halo 2 had just ended. My brother and I had modded an account and played some mods on one of the newer maps, and we did all kinds of funny stuff. But yeah, we ended up getting Halo 3 once it came out, and that's sort of when I actually got my own Xbox Live account for the first time. You know, before that, my brother and myself were sharing one account since we had to pay a monthly subscription to it. But since then, I had actually started owning my own account, especially because of the whole ranking system in Halo 2. And all I would do in Halo 2, because it wasn't my main account, it was my brother's, was play a lot of custom games and Social Slayer, which is pretty much just the casual playlist. So I ended up getting my own account, and I actually ended up playing a good amount of Halo 3, not as much as Halo 2 though, that's for one thing for sure. And I do remember myself playing it a lot at the very beginning, and I never really started playing it after a certain point, but I mean, even before that, I remember Halo 3, I was around a level 36 in Lone Wolves at the very beginning. And around that rank level was when there was a local tournament going on in our town, and it was held at a church nearby, and they were actually really cool, and you know, pretty much invited anybody around the area to compete, and it was pretty much just the, you know, FFA, what is it, top 4 advance, I believe, and I ended up playing in that. And this was one of the first times where I really found out how good Halo 3 was offline and playing it without any type of lag or anything like that. And it was really cool because, I mean, up until that point, I was always comparing myself to just the people who I played online. And when I went to that tournament, I ended up playing pretty well. I mean, like I said, it was just a small tournament, but I came to find out that I actually played very well under pressure, and that I played a lot better when there was nothing like lag or host advantage within the game. So I played really well, and I ended up getting into the semifinals. Fortunately, did not get into the finals, into the final round. And it was kind of odd, but at the same time it was really fun. That was actually one of my first tournaments. I remember for Halo 2 I wasn't able to compete in any of those tournaments that were local because I was too young, and they didn't do parental, I guess, permissions where you could get your parents to sign something for you to say that you could play. You know, that just wasn't allowed at the time. I have no idea why, but it kind of sucked. But at the same time, that was my first real tournament, I guess, but it wasn't really anything competitive. It was kind of just something local, and it was fun. I had a really good time. After that, I think I started playing a lot more online, and I started playing a little bit more competitive, but I believe I stopped at, I think it was a level 46. I never actually got a level 50 at all in Halo 3, and around that time is when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the very first Modern Warfare, came out, and when people started playing that and realizing how much fun it was, I think that's when I personally made the switch over to Call of Duty for a bit. But even after that, Halo was always my go-to game whenever you know, I was bored or something like that, or somebody was hopping on. I would play Halo 3, and even years after. But I think it was here at Halo 3 where people got to a certain age where they were just starting to work or doing a lot more schoolwork, so a lot less people started playing it. And around Halo 3 was when a lot of the games were kind of just, you know, people were spread out with, between, I believe it was Gears of War and Call of Duty, at least for people playing Xbox. So that's kind of the era of where a lot of people stopped playing Halo 3 that were close friends of mine and family. But it was, I believe, Halo Reach when I really started looking into competing seriously, but it just never worked out because one, I just didn't really have many people to play with, and two, I was kind of intimidated with the community, especially because the people who were at the top level, the professionals, were pretty much playing since at the beginning of Halo 1, or they were just playing a lot of Halo. So within Halo 3, I definitely didn't play as much as Halo 2, that's for sure. And then when Halo Reach came out, it was something different, and it was definitely a differently paced game. A lot of people didn't like it, and it took a really long time for the competitive playlist of Halo to really gain traction. And even then, the competitive playlist didn't have ranks, so that was kind of like the downfall of all the casual people who would play competitive playlists just online because they were unable to attend these tournaments, or just because they were a fan of the tournaments and stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely Halo Reach was when I really started looking into MLG and how it was, and it kind of sucks because at that point it was not very good. I mean, Halo 3 was the pinnacle of MLG, and when Halo Reach came out, it was just not as good of a game to watch competitively, and there was just not as many viewers. I mean, personally for me, I really liked playing Halo Reach and watching it, but it was just that the settings just weren't there, and it just took a little too long to get the competitive settings there. But that's when I actually started watching a lot more competitive players. That's when I started, I'm not sure how this happened, but I went to Justin.tv one time, and I saw that they had a gaming category, and I noticed this player, this professional player Ninja, was playing Halo Reach and streaming, and he had like at the time I think it was like 300 viewers, and he was playing like 1v1s or something, and that's really when I started watching it, and that's when I started getting hooked on watching Halo streams. Was even before Twitch TV was a thing, I was watching people play on Justin.tv on Halo Reach to see whatever they would do to gain the advantage, and watch just like competitive games and stuff like that. And so I really enjoyed Reach because that's when I really started looking into competitiveness. But in reality, it was kind of just a bad time. So going on from there, I kind of just stuck around Halo for a bit. I really wanted it to do well, and when 343 got their hands on Halo, and they made Halo 4, it was not as great of a game. I mean, the story-wise, it was really good, but competitive-wise, it was just a lot different, and it seemed like it didn't really work out with a lot of people. I mean, that was the lowest point for Halo competitively, for sure. But with Halo Championship Series now, I believe it's getting a lot better, and it should be growing back, and definitely something that I'm very excited about. But that's about it for my story, and that's pretty much it for my Halo storyline. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Apologies if you notice something wrong with my voice. I'm a little sick right now, but I did want to get this video out for you guys. But like I said, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.